Hey Internet, how's it going? My name's Thomas Foley and welcome to the first ever episode of After the Credits, your weekly spot for everything movies, TV shows, video games, plays, pro wrestling, we got it all right here. For those of you that don't know me, I am the older brother of the esteemed, the one and only, the founder of this lovely channel right here, Jake Foley. Now, me and my brother, we got a lot of things in common, but we also are complete and total opposites. What do I mean by that? Well, he's a huge sports fan, I'm a big pop culture guy, so you guys may know that he can go toe for toe on anything sports facts. I got everything else. Like I said, movies, TVs, video games, plays, pro wrestling, comic books, you name it, I got it. So when Jake was crafting this channel, he knew he wanted to make it as diverse and inclusive as possible, so he figured he should turn to me and see what I wanted to do with the channel. And I said, well, I can't think of anything better than just giving my thoughts and opinions on some of the biggest movies and shows that have ever hit the scene, whether it be in the past, the present, or in the upcoming future. And he said, you know what, that sounds A-okay with me, brother. So that's what I want to do on the show. I want to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on some of the biggest movies and TV shows to ever hit the scene. Whether they be good, bad, ugly, all in between, that's what I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the movie first, let you know my thoughts and opinions, whether they be good or bad, or maybe even mixed. And if you got an agreement or disagreement, go ahead and drop a comment down below in the video. Let us know what you thought. So to start off the first episode, we're going to go ahead and do something special and give ourselves a double header. I got two movies I want to talk about, and I'm going to go ahead and split them into two separate videos. Obviously, first one's going to be in this one. Second one's going to be in a separate video that's going to be coming shortly. But in this first movie, I'm going to talk about the big 1980s hit, the action drama movie that I would say that launched Tom Cruise's career, unless I can't think of another movie, Top Gun. Now, even if you've never seen the movie Top Gun, you know exactly what it's going to be about. I know this from experience because this was honestly my first time ever watching this movie, and by God, did it meet every single expectation I had about that, and I mean that in the best way possible, even if this was the most nonsensical, cliched, most moronic movie I think I've seen in a long time. And again, I mean that in the best possible way. This is one of those really, really good don't think movies. Just turn your brain off and enjoy all the bullshit that is about to happen. Now, a reason Top Gun stands out so much is mainly because of its style, the way it's shot, the way it's filmed, the way it just presents itself. And that's mostly because of the guy who produced it. And again, a lot like Top Gun, you may have never seen it, but you know it. You may not know the guy, you may not be able to put a face to the name, but you sure as hell know his style, and that's Jerry Bruckheimer. Again, the reason you know that name is because he's made a lot of movies, a lot of big hit movies over the years. Some of them may include, Beverly Hills Cop, Bad Boys, Con Air, Armageddon, The Rock, Pearl Harbor, Black Hawk Down, National Treasure, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Kangaroo Jack. You're kind of starting to see a pattern of behavior going on here. But again, his movies make bank. This one made over $300 million at the box office on a $15 million budget, so it was raking it in. So what's the film secret? What makes it such a big success? I can tell you right now, it's got nothing to do with normal storytelling elements. I mean, this movie's just bare bones basic. It's as minimum as it comes, just trying to get that C to get past the class kind of mentality. What's the plot? You've heard it a million times. Cocky pilot wants to be best pilot. There's a hot lady that he gets with, and then he breaks up with in the middle, but then they get back together because happy ending. He's got a rival who's an asshole, and then he's not an asshole, but he's kind of still an asshole, but they're friends. Hour and a half, and they're suddenly just like this. Not to mention the dialogue. Oh my god. Oh my god, the dialogue in this movie is atrocious. Holy crap, they did not care about what they put in the middle between these flying scenes. They did not care at all, you guys. It was just the most, what's character A saying? Blah, blah, blah. What's character B saying? Blah, 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 blah. It is just so bare bones. It's ridiculous. I can't even say it's bare bones. It's nonsense. It's complete and total nonsense. People do not talk like this. I've heard more realistic speak from Lord of the Rings or from Narnia. I don't know people who talk like this or even who act like this. The characters are just so batshit insane. I mean, just to give you a couple of examples. I mean, one for the dialogue. There's just this one point where they're talking about, I guess, some rules that Maverick broke, rules of engagement when it comes to flying. I don't know jack freaking crap about anything involving the military. I know you gotta, shave your head, maybe, stay in line, anything you saw in Forrest Gump. That's what I know about the military. So when they're talking about these rules of engagement that Maverick broke, I have no idea what they're talking about. They're not really explaining it either. That's my biggest issue. They're not really showing what the effects of him breaking these rules would have been in an actual scenario, because this was all during like a training exercise. So when they're saying, "Oh, you broke 2 rules of engagement," I'm like, what does that mean though? What are the consequences? He's obviously got the job done, but why are you guys so against the way he got the job done? Is it because you're just guys with sticks up your ass that are this freaking long, or do you just not like him, or what's the main thing? Yeah, they all constantly keep complimenting his flying abilities, but they don't ever punish him for the risk that he takes for going off the grid, and it's confusing at times, honestly. I'm a very big fan of the mentality of show, don't tell when it comes to stuff in movies. Show me the consequences, show me the risk, show me what is at stake here when it comes to your movie. Don't tell me that all this is gonna happen. Show me what's gonna happen. Like if you're saying I guess in this movie, you broke the rules of engagement. Show me what would have happened if he did it this way instead of that way. What puts him or other people or even the mission he's on at risk? What is the cause and effect of what will happen if he does this? Because you just telling me and yelling at him doesn't really do anything for me. Yes, I know he's in trouble, but I don't know what he's in trouble for, and that's kind of like what my biggest issue is when it comes to them saying, you broke all these rules and everything, but never really explaining to the audience, the viewers who may not know these rules, what they are and what they mean and what effect they have on the situation. Another thing that I kind of mentioned that never really happens is that they kind of treat Tom Cruise's character, his name, his full name, and I only learned this through watching the movie, is Pete Maverick. That's like his fly name, Maverick. That's why I keep calling him Maverick Mitchell. Pete Mitchell is his name, and by God, probably would have stuck with Pete Mitchell. Maverick ain't exactly as cool of a name as you think, man. You just go around and introduce yourself as a Maverick. People just look at you like, all right, I'm John, fuck you. But anyways, like I was just saying, Maverick is kind of treated like this. There's a term for it called. I guess the best term for it would be a Mary Sue, and by that I mean I don't mean like he's a punk or he's a wuss or he's anything like that. Mary Sue, when it comes to describing a character, means like they can do no wrong. They're perfect. They're completely flawless or something like that. It's kind of like what someone would do if they were writing like a fan fiction kind of character, and they like were inserting themselves and they were just amazing, and everyone in the store that they were surrounded by loved them and stuff like that. And that's kind of like what Tom Cruise's like character Maverick is in this movie. He does all this stuff that they keep saying is like, that's bad, that's wrong, you're not supposed to do that, Maverick. But it was damn fine flying. Like, what the fuck? And he just gets away with it. He gets away with all this stuff. He gets chewed out. Like every other scene that after the flying scene pretty much starts with him getting chewed out for something he did or involving something like that he was doing while he was flying. And it amounts to nothing in the entire film. He must have gone to the general or the surgeon or lieutenant or whoever it is office, like a million times, and he gets no punishment, like no marks on his record. No, he doesn't get kicked out of the academy and nothing. There's literally no consequences to his actions. I mean, there is one major consequence that does happen, but the movie just kind of like writes it off, saying, "Oh, don't worry, Maverick. That one thing that you're really fucked up on, the one thing that was involved while you were flying the plane, that's not your fault. That's not your fault at all. It was all this other stuff that was involved with it." So they're just kind of like feeding his ego, which everyone like around him like kind of sort of hates. Like even the movie doesn't really know like if the other characters hate his ego or anything like that. It's his ego that kind of like gets the girl and stuff like that, which it's in a weird way kind of works. I'll talk about it later, but it's a matter of there are no consequences to his actions, and that doesn't really help the movie at all. It's like telling a bully, at school who's constantly hitting kids, hey, I don't like how you're hitting those kids. That is not fine at all. But your form is fantastic. But hey, like I said, this is not the way that people act in real life. These characters are so in their own world. It's kind of amazing at times. Some examples of this is when Maverick is in the bar and he sees the lovely Miss Kelly McGillis, which by the way, huge miscast on the film's part. They did not do okay with that. I swear to God, even like now, like she's beautiful, she's a lovely woman, and everything. Kind of looks like his mom the whole time, age wise. They kind of fucked up on the ages with that, but needless to say, the movie kind of just rolls with it as it does with everything else. And he's in the middle. He sees her at the bar, and he's looking over to his wingman, his buddy Goose, and he's like, again, a brilliant freaking nickname. Some of the nicknames in this are pretty cool though. I can't hate on all of them. But again, Goose is one of those where I kind of just tilt my head and I'm like, you didn't want to go for Hawk or Eagle or Falcon or something. You went for Goose, huh, my man? You went for Goose. That's an interesting play right there, my guy. But again, he sees Kelly McGillis at the other end of the bar, and I guess they got this kind of routine that they want to do. I'm like, all right, let's hear what clever one-liners and stuff they got ready for Miss Kelly McGillis here. And I guess he approached her and he's like, hey, excuse me, and Goose just like, hold on, man, I'll handle this. And then all of a sudden, you see Tom Cruise. I don't know where he got this mic from. They show him picking it up. I have no idea where he got it from, but he just starts singing this song. I don't remember the name of it, but he starts singing this song, and all of the other Air Force guys join in. I swear to God, I've been in theater since I was in high school. I have not seen drama troops like this well rehearsed or this well practiced when it comes to someone spontaneously starting a song and everyone else just needing to join in and selling it. I mean, it was something to really behold. And again, this is the Army. Not even the Army, the Air Force, again, for this program that's supposedly needing the best of the best. And I guess what involves being the best of the best is knowing when to hit your fucking cues. If Maverick starts singing, you are coming in on the third verse, whether you are porking some girl, downing your drink, or playing darts. You are on there on the third verse, motherfucker. I don't care what's going on. I guess that's what involves being the best of the best. Your flying skills, that's secondary. Your show tune skills gotta be like that. They gotta be on point, bitch. They need to be perfect. I get that. Again, I don't know very many Air Force or Army guys who are that well versed in just any song and are willing to just join in like that when another guy starts singing, even if he's got a microphone. I know most people would just look at him and be like silently judging or something like that, but it's again, this movie's in its own world. That's one thing. The other thing is volleyball. This movie loves it some volleyball. It doesn't show a whole lot of volleyball, but for the time that these guys are playing volleyball, you would have thought it was the World Cup and your home country was in the finals. I swear to God. Again, Air Force Base. You got all these guys. Some of them shirtless. Some of them got tank tops on. Some of them got normal shirts on. Point is, all these guys out there are ripped, they are showing it, and they are watching four dudes play volleyball like it's the most fascinating thing in the world. And I'm fascinated watching this because I don't know why. They could do a million other things right now, maybe practicing their flying routines, maybe, getting ready for all these exams and tests and stuff that they're gonna have to be going through. But instead they are watching these four men play volleyball. Again, all of them shirtless. Every single one of them just jacked, dripping sweat. These guys, I swear to God, they could be sitting in an air-conditioned room and they would be sweating bullets. I'm pretty sure they are at some points. Like, all of them, like they're inside a ship or they're inside some guy's office. All the guys are dripping sweat 9/10 of the movie. It's amazing. It's like I'm watching a buff straight version of Twilight or like a closeted straight version of Twilight. I don't know. But point is, the dudes in this movie are glistening and they are showing it. It's actually, again, it's really kind of amazing how just out there it is with it. But again, these guys are just so fascinated with these guys playing volleyball. They're cheering them on, they're rooting for them. Like, I don't think you guys have spent more than 2 seconds in a scene together. And most of it was when you were getting debriefed on, airplane shit. The one thing this movie does get accurate, though, about its characters is the sexual tension. And I'm not talking about Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis. I am talking about the freaking bromances between Tom Cruise and every other dude on that base. I mean, these guys are legit one well-written scene away from just straight fucking. I mean, these guys are into each other. Literally, one of the first scenes in the movie when they first get to the Top Gun base, there are two guys. One of them's Val Kilmer. One of them, I think, is his partner. I forget if he's played by someone with a significant name. I'm sorry if I forget his name or anything like that. But it's Val Kilmer and this other guy, and the dude just leans over to Val Kilmer and is like, "This is making me as hard as a rock right now." And Val Kilmer's response is, "Don't tempt me." I swear to God, I had to pause the movie because I'm like, if that's not a conversation I've had with my bros at least once, even if jokingly, where we're just like sitting there watching something, like, dude, I am hard as a rock right now. I was like, don't tempt me, bro. And like legit, but they don't play it like a joke. They play it so fucking straight, and that's what blows my mind. Is like, and again, like later in the movie, you got Maverick, Tom Cruise, and Val Kilmer, like, these two, big hunks of the 1980s, like, just in a locker room, for God's sakes, in a locker room. Thankfully, they're both clothed. Neither of them have, like, just the towel on or nothing like that. But they're fully clothed. But like, Iceman, Val Kilmer, his nickname's Iceman, which is actually a pretty cool name. He comes up to him and he's like, giving him like, all this crap and everything. And he just ends it like, and they're this far apart. Neither of them like, have like a serious face on or anything like that. Like, they're totally like, yeah, what you gonna do, huh? Yeah. Like, Val Kilmer literally does that. He literally just goes, and I swear to God, I thought Tom Cruise's response was just going to be to grab the back of his head, pull him in, and just start shoving his tongue down his throat or something like that. Like, that sexual attention, you could cut it with a spork. Don't even need a knife or like a fork or anything like that. Just get the weakest utensil you possibly can, being a spork, and just, push it. Like, that's all it needs. Is that. And, like, you could literally feel it coming through the TV, making you hard in the process and wanting to get involved with all of it. So with everything I've kind of said in this video, it must seem like, this movie's, not good, it's not entertaining, it's a, complete waste of time. Farthest thing from the truth, ladies and gentlemen. This was one of the most entertaining movies I've ever seen. I can totally see why this thing made so much money. It is so incredibly fun to watch from start to finish. Like, it's, like I said, it's very cliched, it's very formulaic, but it was one of the innovators of these cliches and formulas. So I cut it a lot of slack, and again, the students have not become the master. This thing knows exactly what it's doing from start to finish, and it just goes all out with it, and it's so much fun to watch it. And again, like, the characters don't make sense, but the actors playing them know exactly what they're in, and they play it to perfection. They are just doing this they are totally committed to the roles, and it's awesome. It's absolutely 100% awesome. I can see why so many people, enjoy this movie and quote it to this day. I had a blast with it. I'm amazed I haven't seen this movie sooner, because it was just so much fun to watch. It makes no sense. This movie is so retarded at times. It's so idiotic and stupid and messed up, and again, people don't act this way, people don't talk this way. If this were anything else, like if this were like any kind of like different movie or like a better movie, it would be so different, and it would never have made the kind of money it made. This movie is successful for the reasons that it is, because it uses Jerry Bruckheimer's, style and formula to a T. And again, when it's on, it's on. It works. When it's off, it's off. And it wouldn't have, like, obviously been as successful as it was. And I do think I have to give some of the credit to that to Tom Cruise. He's just so endearing and so, like, to the point with like a lot of the characters that he plays, that it's just like it's hard not to get invested in what he's doing and kind of like, root him on. Again, even if everything else that's going on is complete batshit, but I enjoyed the living hell out of this movie. I couldn't have asked for a better movie to start these reviews and these videos on. It was a blast from start to finish. If I had to rank it, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5 bags of popcorn and everything. Like, I would just be chomping at the bit like my whole time, being like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Just shoving all the popcorn down my face the whole time I'm watching it, just having an absolute blast. This is in every definition of the word a blockbuster movie. Like, there is no doubt about that. You can't take that away from this movie whatsoever. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for Top Gun. I'll see you guys next time with another awesome video, and hopefully this becomes more of a regular thing. Until then, take care, stay safe, wash your hands, and have a good one. Peace out.